My daughter was up in prime.
That's what
Of course, right when we
So, with that being
Take
said, then they've added the sidewalks. So, looks like it's in pretty good shape.
This meeting is called to order. Proper quorum has been determined. Ask for approval of minutes from March 26, 2013.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First, we have new business. Final minor plat, Mary Waldron subdivision, 2.41 acres. Property located at 196 Greenwood Drive, tax map 17L, Group A, parcel 8, R2 zoning district, property owned by Mary Waldron. Ms. Costanza.
The applicant is requesting to subdivide the property at the intersection of Greenwood Drive and Irvin into roughly two equal tracts. At the workshop, there were a couple of technical items focused mostly on the water and sewer availability and the presence of a couple of accessory structures that weren't shown. Since then, we've had the applicant put the accessory structures on. They do not appear to be any kind of issue, and they did put the requested notes regarding water and sewer for both lots. So at this time, all technical items have been addressed.
All technical items been addressed, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to accept as submitted.
I have a motion to accept as submitted. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a site plan for Palm International Incorporated, building addition, 4.11 acres, property located at 1289 International Boulevard, tax map 17, parcel 28.04, I-2 zoning district, property owned by William Fields. Ms. Costanza.
Okay, the applicant is requesting to construct an addition of about 12,800 square feet at the rear. And at the workshop, our technical items mostly centered on water quality, whether there would be any impervious runoff there, and the fire protection access. We did receive a letter indicating from Perry Engineering that there will be no change to impervious, there will be no changes to the impervious surface, and there will be no changes to the water quality or quantity based on the new addition. We also asked that they add in a 20-foot fire access lane, which they have done to the satisfaction of city staff and the building, the fire inspector. That's going to be 20 feet wide, and it'll be utilizing permeable grass pavers that can withstand loads for above what a fire truck actually requires. And that has been reviewed by the fire inspector, and everything was considered acceptable. I can pass out that information if you'd like to look at it. But it's something that should actually, could potentially be utilized in the future at some of our sites, and it allows for heavy traffic, but it doesn't affect any kind of impervious surface. So it's a newer technology that's been on the market now.
So all the other items have been addressed then?
All the items were addressed to staff satisfaction.
All items have been addressed, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to accept as submitted.
I have a motion to accept as submitted. Do I hear a second?
Second.
That was a second. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next. Next, we have the final plat, Woodsong subdivision, section 5, 9.16 acres, property located along Buffalo Drive, tax map 32, parcel 5.06, R1 zoning district, property owned by L&E Properties Developers and Contractors Incorporated. Ms. Cassandra?
Okay, this is section 5 of Woodsong, which is 20 lots on 9.16 acres. At the workshop, everything was mostly satisfactory, except for the fact that the engineer had not received the construction plans, which are required for approval. He has since received them and approved them. He just has not physically put his stamp on them. But he has.
I stamped them this afternoon.
He stamped them this
They're
afternoon.
good.
So So at this point, all technical items have been addressed for Section 5.
As submitted.
I have a motion to accept as submitted. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a site plan. Archangel Michael Coptic Orthodox Church, 3.99 acres, modular classroom and building addition, property located at 173 Cherokee Drive, tax map 17C, Group E, parcel 27, R1 zoning district, property owned by Archangel Michael Coptic Orthodox Church. Ms. Costanzo?
Okay. Just so you are aware, there have been some changes since the workshop. The modular building of 1,440 square feet has been removed, as has the landscaping buffer that was proposed around it. At this point in time, the applicant is only proposing 2 future building additions, which you can see are, they come to approximately 6,200 square feet. They're also proposing to pave and stripe out their parking lot, and they're proposing an extended chip and seal overflow parking area. At the workshop time, technical items focused on drainage, sidewalk location, and the modular building, and whether it was appropriate. In the last couple of weeks, the engineer has worked diligently with Mr. Brown on all the drainage items. I believe those have all been, he can tell you that they have been worked out satisfactorily. The sidewalk has been shown on the site plan, so you can see that it does fit, the 5-foot does fit on their property. And again, the modular building has been removed. So all technical items have technically been addressed.
Mr. Chief College, you just want to make sure that he's totally satisfied with the drainage?
Yeah, I'm satisfied with the drainage. They made a lot of changes that, you know, we've discussed 2 ditch lines. They're basically leaving the roadside ditch kind of for the roadside, and then they're going to have the sidewalk. Then on the back side of the sidewalk, you'll have the ditch line that's going to be for their property. Basically, everything will go into the detention pond and then come out at the outlet of the detention pond. And as you can see on this plan, they're going to, when they discharge, just to make sure they don't erode the roadway or undercut it or anything, they're going to have that U-shaped basically structure that it'll discharge into. That way, that main existing ditch line will be able to flow through it. It'll have a concrete bottom and then a concrete side against the road. That way, whenever the water's coming out from the detention pond, it'll hit that and be able to make that turn without eroding everything away. So they made quite a few changes to it.
The building additions, what type of material we're going to be using? That was another discussion we had at the workshop. Do we know what materials we're going to use?
I don't think it's on there. They may.
Existing structure brick, these are additions to the main structure.
Yeah, they had,
Expected to be brick.
Right.
they had talked about that just being brick and timber, I believe, at the workshop, but
With that, Mr. Chairman, that everything's been handled as well as the drainage, I'll make a motion to accept as submitted.
Okay, I have a motion to accept as submitted. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Can I have a discussion now that
Sure.
we have a second? On this, it does say proposed modular classroom. Do we need to make sure that that is not included in the submittal?
Well, yep.
Mayor, that's probably one thing that y'all could add to the motion. That way
That's
it is
why I wanna
actually
make sure.
in the minutes. If y'all wanted to, somebody make an amendment just to state that way, it is for
Well-
sure in the record that the modular
I mean,
buildings.
even if it's on the agenda that way, it's not shown on the
Yeah.
plat.
There's also, it's not shown on the plans, there's also a note in the plans that basically says it's just for the additions, but just for further clarification, I understand the
Okay.
concern that
Okay.
it may be best just to add that to the motion, just to make sure it is definitely in there.
So I'll make a motion to accept the plans as submitted, as dated 4/19, which does not show modular classrooms, but does show the building additions.
And that's the motion I will second.
Okay.
Right.
I have a motion and second to accept the plans dated 4/19 as submitted. Help me out there.
So,
To accept the plans from 4/19 as submitted
which does not include any modular classrooms.
which does not include the modular classrooms. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for subdivision acceptance. Woodsong, Sections 4, 9.23 acres, property located at the intersection of Potts Crossing and Buffalo Drive, tax map 32, partial 5.11, 5.13, and a portion of partial 5.06. R1 zoning district, Raja and Sam developers and contractors. Ms. Costanzo.
Okay, Mr. Risha was hoping to have completed all the items for tonight. However, there's still some outstanding items, so he is here tonight to ask for a deferral of this item.
I like it deferred.
Okay. Have a request for deferral. Okay, next we have bonds and letters of credit update.
Mr. Chairman, everyone should have the updated bond list in front of them. We basically have one that's May 1st expiration date, but I have received the email of where it's been extended. It's been mailed since I think Thursday or Friday of last week. I'm just not real sure where it's at, so that's why they sent me an email copy. Bruce and myself's basically looking for that in the mail anytime. So, but it has been extended for a year. The only other ones is Lake Forest Estates. There's a couple coming up, but that's where we was talking at the workshop. There's a draw date coming on May 1st that'll take care of the ones that's going to expire pretty soon. So, and that's it. Unless somebody's got questions.
Are there any questions from the board?